Hi, I'm Taylor with Sportsman's Warehouse. This is Anthony with Benchmade, and today we're talking about knives. One of the most useful tools you can have for camping, hunting, or fishing is a knife. But how do you know which knife is right for you?
Well, today we're going to take you through those knives, and we're going to take you through multiple knives. We're going to take you through folding knives, which are typically pocket knives. We're going to take you through fixed blade knives that can be for outdoor use, for hunting, for camping, even into fishing. And we're going to take you into also specialty fixed blade knives. So first up, we're going to talk about folding knives. And what we have at Benchmade are, today we're going to show you three different types of folding knives, and what those are is different mechanisms. So the first step we're going to show you is our most popular knife in our category, which is the bug out. The bug out is so great because it is the most versatile knife that we make in our range. It comes at a great price point. It's the perfect entry level knife for anybody to get into an EDC a knife. And what is great about this from a folding knife, it's super lightweight, it's easy to carry, fits in the pocket extremely well. If you can see that on screen, how thin that is. I wish you could feel it, how light it is. You gotta go pick one up yourself and see how it carries in pocket. The mechanism is actually the axis mechanism that we're known for, and what that is, this locking mechanism here. And basically how to close the knife, you basically pull this back and the blade will then fold in. So it makes it for ambidextrous and just a really safe opening mechanism, opening and closing mechanism. With a thumb stud here, it actually, with practice, you can easily just open the blade like that. Extremely easy to do, and just a great all-around choice for an everyday carry knife. This knife is so versatile that we wanted to introduce a smaller version as well. So we actually have a mini bug out, which is a little bit smaller than the large bug out. It's got a smaller blade, smaller handle, a little bit smaller profile overall. Great for in pocket, a very popular knife for the female user as well, just because it carries so small in the pocket. Another great knife that we make is the mini bug out, and that is also in the axis mechanism. And then when we go out beyond that, we'll go into a push button auto. So in the 940 family, which we're actually celebrating the 20th anniversary of this knife, we just introduced the first push button auto here. And what's great about the push button auto is it's not just I would say a fidget spinner to have in your pocket. They're super easy to handle, super safe action here, easy to deploy there. And then on the back here, you actually have a safety switch. So you can switch that up for safe and back for open. I usually prefer a two-handed close with this just from a safety precaution. But overall, great knife. And this is the 940 auto. And then in the 940, which is the regular axis, we'll talk about this knife from just being a great multi-use knife as well. It's a little heavier duty than the bug out. You're getting aluminum handles, you're getting a full aluminum backspacer as well. I would say a little beefier, a little bit built for more hard use. This was actually, Warren Osborne designed this as a ranch hand and trained horses. So he took a lot of cues from the use that he was using on a personal basis, but as a custom knife designer wanted to build the perfect knife for him. So if you look at the blade shape too, you have a reverse Tonto there. So at the tip here, you have a little bit of a thicker blade than maybe a bug out. So you can get in there with some prying, not necessarily prying, but get in there and doing some work. He actually did that for training horses with horse hooves. Just a great all around, I would say, everyday carry, but also flashy too. We're gonna go into the assisted family. So this is a different mechanism altogether as well. So it's a axis mechanism, but it's an assist. Similar as a push button auto, but the assist comes from opening it just like that. Basically, when you actually actuate the thumb stud, the blade's assisted by a spring and it flips open there. Same style mechanism here for a safety switch. Up is safe and reverse is open. And then to close the blade, you actuate the axis lock and you close it just like so. So another great option for people there. Definitely is a great knife for harder use as well, and just a really comfortable knife. And this is the Barrage.
I have a question.
Yeah, hit me.
Does the thickness of a knife determine how robust or heavy duty you can?
Not necessarily, actually. Believe it or not, we've actually been working on a new knife for the future that is actually thinner than the current style of knife, and we've proven out with our engineer team, it's not necessarily how thick it is, it's based on materials.
Okay.
For instance, the bug out is super thin, but it is very robust. It's a strong knife. It's a great, perfect, all-around camping knife.
Okay.
And then if you want to get beefier, when you get into different materials, that's going to make a really big difference. So like aluminum handle, you're not going to get as much flex. This is called grivery. So you'll get a little bit of flex out of this. Okay. It's not going to break on you. It'll do great in the field. But if you want something that you can really torque on, aluminum is going to definitely hold up, I would say, better than a grivery handle.
Gotcha. The next kind of knife we're going to talk about today is a fixed blade.
Awesome. Fixed blades are one of my favorites. And the reason being is I do a lot of outdoor activity. I hunt, I fish, I camp. So when I need something to do a little bit more hard use tasks, it's there for me. And we'll talk about that in a few different scenarios, right? So if I'm at camp and I forgot a hatchet, I can baton with this. And do you know what batoning is? All right, so batoning, you can take this knife and you can pretty much use it as a mini hatchet, right? Okay. You can set a piece of wood down here and you can hold it in hand with another piece of wood and whack it and whack it. So, and that'll split that piece of wood into kindling. You can use it for firewood. So when you talk about that strength and the added strength, that's huge, right? You wouldn't want to necessarily do that with a folder. Okay. Our folders, you probably could get away with that, but recommend a fixed blade for that. Other use for this, hunting, right? So in a hunting scenario, I like to carry a folder in my pocket and I carry a fixed blade in my pack. My pocket knife is used for lighter tasks back at camp, any cutting I need to do, trimming things up. My main knife is my fixed blade. This is my primary knife once I put an animal on the ground. And I can do everything from skin, I can gut, I can cut into cartilage, I can cut into sternum cavities. I can pretty much get away with anything here. It's just a great overall knife to have in your pack, just from an overall use standpoint. It's definitely geared more towards hard use than a folder. Okay. The next type of fixed blade we're going to show you today is a specialty fixed blade. Okay. So just like the last knife I showed you, it is the same exact knife. It is a saddle mountain, but it actually features a gut hook. This knife actually has two features to it, right? So similar features to the saddle mountain. You can do your skinning, you can do all your hard use work, but then it also features this gut hook. Okay. And what the gut hook allows you to do is when you put an animal down on the ground, you basically flip it over, and when you're opening up the stomach to gut the animal, you basically just unzip it and you're good to go. So extremely useful in hunting scenarios. I would say this is definitely a hunting specialty knife. Okay. Maybe not the best outdoor knife particularly, but definitely geared more towards hunting.
Okay. Does this gut hook affect the integrity of the knife?
Absolutely not. So if you look at these two knives side by side, the spines are exactly the same. The profiles are exactly the same. The main difference is literally the gut hook. So there's really no difference there. You have zero sacrifices when going that direction. And that rounds it out for fixed blades for what we have here today to show you guys. There's a ton of different fixed blades out there, different uses. There's camping specific fixed blades, bushcrafting. Today we took you through what we have as hunting knives. There's even tactical fixed blades. So there's a ton else out there. But yeah, take a look at what we have to offer and what you guys have at Sportsman's.
If you have any additional questions, comment down below. Visit us online at sportsmans.com or visit a local Sportsman's warehouse near you.